Hi everyone, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of a special edition reading vlog. That's right folks, we're about to have a cozy cabin reading vlog. So Clay and I went upstate in New York, just a few hours outside of New York City for a few days, just to kind of get out into a bit of nature. We took Matilda with us and we've essentially just planned to kind of read and hang out. We actually booked this cabin over a year ago, so it's kind of funny that it finally arrived, but I thought it would be a lot of fun to do another cozy cabin reading vlog, which I did when we went to Vermont. So without further ado, welcome. This cabin, which I will do a tour of, is probably the prettiest place I've ever stayed in my entire life, which is why I booked it over a year ago. I was really thrilled when I found it. But this will just be a chill video of reading and hanging out. I brought my Switch and I brought my ebook, and we're just gonna be hanging out in the woods for the next couple of days. It's really hot across the entirety of the United States right now, so it's also going to be a toasty couple of days, but we've got AC and we've got loose clothing, so I think we will survive. But welcome to the start of this vlog. Let's start off with a bit of a tour of the Airbnb we're staying at, and then, you know, Clay and I are off to the grocery store because we got to make dinner. But yeah, welcome. So here's kind of an overview of the space. This is a repurposed barn house, or a constructed barn house. So there's so much light, there's so many like beautiful natural beams, and I would definitely say the thing that sold me about this place is this fantastic plant wall, which is just truly next level. And this is the living room couch hangout space, and it looks over into the living room, but oh, there's Matilda. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite feature of the apartment. Hello, Matilda. And then over to the right is the dining room. I was doing a bit of work earlier, and then a fireplace with a swing. Fireplace will not be being used, but I'm sure is lovely in the winter time. And then walking over here is the kitchen, which is just also so lovely. The farmhouse sink, next level. And then all of the sleeping areas are upstairs, so I'll bring you up there. But yes, just walk up these stairs. And then off over here is like a little couch TV area. Here is the main bedroom through here. It's really pretty. Just a nice, just big window, cozy bedroom. And then my favorite part is the bathroom, because look at this tub. But yeah, everything is just so beautiful. But yeah, that is a bit of a tour of the place we'll be staying over the next couple days. I'm really looking forward to filming this vlog and just hopefully doing a bunch of reading and enjoying the outside, the nature. As I mentioned, Clay and I do need to go to the grocery store to pick up some groceries to eat while we're staying here. So we're gonna go venture off and do that now. But welcome to the start of the vlog. Yeah. We're back from our expedition. We naturally got the goods, watermelon, corn. We're gonna make hot dogs tonight. It's gonna be great. Record vibes, Clay setting up the grill, and I am gonna cut up this watermelon and store it. Already time for PJs, so that's where we're at. I also wanted to mention the book I brought with me for this vlog. So I brought The Golden Fool. I'll have a picture of it here. I brought my e-reader with me, so I also have technically read them before too. But I think the book I'm gonna focus on reading is The Golden Fool, because one, I love Robin Hobb and I'm really wanting to ensure that I continue on with this series, and because I love her book so much, it kind of feels like a treat to read it on vacation. So that is the book, hello Matilda, that I am brought with me to read, and I'm really looking forward. And if you're not familiar, this is the second book to the third trilogy within Robin Hobb's fantasy world. They're incredibly emotional, very character driven. The first one is the Farseer trilogy, and I honestly can't wait to read it. I feel like it's going to be a ride. So, you know, maybe I'll cry in the woods too. Crying in the woods, it's a vibe. A classic summertime dinner. Same thing, different locale. Good morning, friends. Coffee successfully had. I thought I'd show off this sundress. I basically just packed a suitcase full of sundresses, and Matilda is just roaming around. But just wanted to say hello. Clay and I are gonna make breakfast here in a minute, but I've just been enjoying my morning. It is hot, but it is beautiful. I'm also just thriving in nature. Actually, I'm gonna show you a bit of the outside, and then I'm gonna sit down and do some reading, I think. Clay is doing work things, but on a gaming computer, which I just feel like is the vibe of the century. It's that rainbow keyboard for me. Mini! But here is the outside. We grilled last night, but it's just this really cute barn, and there's all these wonderful windows and just so much nature to be had. There's also a little path down there with a fire pit, which we might not light a fire, but we might sit over there and enjoy the comfort of the trees. But yeah, so nice. But now it's time for me to get back to my emails and also start reading The Golden Fool. I picked up some Little Bites from the grocery store yesterday because these things are impeccable. Bring me back to elementary school. It's been a minute, but they are so good. Hi world, it's me. I wanted to do a reading check-in, my first reading check-in of this reading vlog, but I've read 60 pages of The Golden Fool, and so far it's definitely living up to my incredibly high expectations. Obviously I still have quite a bit of this book to read and encounter, but so far I am really liking it. Obviously this is the second book in the trilogy, but I always really appreciate how much of like the inner thoughts and feelings we get of our main characters within Robin Hobb series, particularly with Fitz. Even in the Farseer trilogy and within this series, he's kind of continued his habit of like writing his innermost thoughts and feelings, like his pain, his suffering, like his trauma, as he's like trying to work through it as it's happening. So because of this, I really feel like you just get so emotionally attached to everyone, and you're also so intimately aware of their like greatest pain and their like insecurities and like all the things they do to prevent themselves from being like loved. And you especially get that with Fitz, which just makes you, I don't know, just makes you love Fitz. But I am really looking forward to this book because I do feel like it's like next generation Degrassi when it comes to the Farseer trilogy, as Fitz is obviously an adult in this particular trilogy, but all of the political consequences that happened within the first book are still very much present. Particularly there has been an escalation and the tension between wit users and the general populace. So for context, there are two different types of magic within this world. There is the skill, which is a very rare form of magic that really only like the royal family can use, which essentially is kind of like mind reading and like mind control. But there's also something called the wit, which is animal magic. You can kind of like sync up with an animal and they become your companion, and you're emotionally connected with that animal. And wit users are not just like looked down upon, people are like terrified of them, but will also kill them on sight. Like if you are shown to be a wit user, you're like kicked out of your town, possibly executed immediately. And the tensions of like the general populace towards wit users is increasing. And there's also this political group called the Piebalds, which is made up of wit users, and they're essentially like an extreme faction of wit users that are essentially like outing other wit users and forcing every other individual to like join their political movement for them to gain power. It's obviously a very complicated political situation because of how wit users are treated within this world is absolutely terrible, but the Piebalds are basically using that terror and that fear to control them for their own political means. So it's just a very nuanced political situation, which is what you would expect from Robin Hobb. And for note too, a lot of the royal family within the Farseer like empire are also wit users, and they have just been hiding it, and there's fear if like their wit ability gets out in the open, like there could be a revolt, an overthrow of the monarchy, all of those things. So that's kind of the political nature of what we're at this moment, and Fitz as well as the Fool are kind of deeply embedded now in court politics based off the events of the first book. I actually really do not know where books 2 and 3 are going to take us, but I definitely feel like it's going to be a more expansive moment. The first book was definitely like very quest focused and very like, it's Fitz again, and we're on this very like focused journey. But books 2 and 3, kind of like how we experienced in the Farseer trilogy originally, I do feel like are going to get more expansive, and we're going to see more characters and just like larger kingdom based politics, which I'm looking forward to. But the first 60 pages definitely were really great. I love Robin Hobb's writing. This is not a surprise, so being back into another one of her books is just spot on. I think I'm gonna make another round of coffee in the kitchen there. I also need to do the dishes, but I did want to give you a reading update as I have read. Are you laying in the sun, my queen? Are you having a nice time? Also, Clay being the real MVP of the day and making breakfast lunch combo. Trying to figure out the fancy toaster, but this looks delish. Beautiful. Decided I really enjoy how pour over tastes, but it is also a lot of effort. These are the conclusions I've drawn. It's like, I guess it's like, you know, a little reward for your patience, but it's a whole thing. Coffee, Clay got into some of our pineapple, and we are doing the obvious thing, which is watching Vincenzo. We're hoping to finish by the time we leave this cabin though. That's our goal. Time for another snack. A nice cool snack. Oh wait, where is it? LOL, Clay already grabbed it, but we got some of these Italian ices. So we're gonna enjoy this. Upstairs, the perfect warm weather day snack. All right, back in the kitchen. We are on episode 18 of Vincenzo of 20, so we're really wrapping it up. I think we're gonna finish it. Probably not tonight, but at least tomorrow. But I have come back to the kitchen because I'm gonna make a snack for Clay and I. I'm gonna make some guacamole. So I'm gonna chop everything up now. We're just enjoying all the like kind of cooler snacks to beat the heat a bit. And I'm also going to do a bit more reading after I make this guacamole, because I want to get to page like 120 before I read more again tonight, because obviously this is a cabin reading vlog, so I've got to do the reading, you know? But I'm going to make this guac now, and then we read. Slice and dice your veg, get yourself a nice big bowl of avocados. I need lemons, which I have over there, and mix. Obviously, I have to season with lots of salt and pepper, and I am gonna chop up some garlic, but it should be good. And all done. Clay and I are also planning to make some steak tacos for dinner, so this will also be handy to eat with that, but also I'm gonna enjoy it now. just doing charcoal things, I guess. We have watched so many YouTube videos on how to do this, and we're very proud of ourselves for figuring it out. And I say we, I mean he. I'm eating an Oreo, so there you go. Also happy to report I've changed into pajamas for the evening. And we are about to watch more of Vincenzo, but I've also read over 100 pages of The Golden Fool, and I'm really liking this book. I also feel like, logically speaking, I'm not surprised, and I think this makes sense, but it's definitely getting political faster than the first one. The first one was beautiful in its slowness, because it was really focused on like character stuff, and not that this isn't, but it was like a true reintroduction to Fitz. Versus this one, because obviously we have the context of the first book, I do feel like we've kind of been thrown into some palace conspiracies similar to political things like right away. Robin Hobb's writing is just one of my favorites too. I feel like there's just so much subtlety. Like, she's never really hitting you over the head with anything. She doesn't overuse things too, so when a moment with magic or like a big reveal happens, it just feels very well earned. And it's just masterful, you know? So I've been really enjoying reading The Golden Fool in this cozy cabin, as well as just hanging out. Clay and I have just been cooking and watching TV and hanging with Matilda, you know? Which is what we kind of do all the time, but in a new locale. So, but yeah, I'm going to help Clay prep dinner, and that's really it for the rest of the evening. Clay, who has become a grill master, is about to cook this. It's all very nicely seasoned, and then I'm making some rice and beans, quick easy dinner. We have some tortillas. This should be good. Now, doesn't that look good? Not bad, not bad at all. So it is actually storming outside, which has just been such lovely ambiance, but of course it would lightning right when I move the camera away. But I am now obviously in bed, and I'm going to finish up my evening doing some reading. Again, I've already passed 100 page mark of The Golden Fool, but just trying to read as much as I can while I'm here. So I'm gonna read more tonight, be cozy, enjoy the sound of the rain, and get a good night's sleep, and then I'll chat with you guys in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Just been spending my morning editing. Ooh. My hand's shaking. I'm not strong enough to vlog and pour coffee at the same time, but I'm doing it for the shot. But anyway, cheers. I stepped on a Millie toy. Just appreciating this plant wall, but I was able to read to page 200 last night of my book. So good. I'm definitely going to be doing more reading today. Clay's behind me. But just wanted to say cheers and good morning. My queen continuing to thrive as she does, but it's time for a fruit snack, I think. So let's chop that up in the kitchen. Let's go do some reading. Another day, another beautiful breakfast made by Clay. Shout out. Shout out. In the swinging chair, about to do some reading. This place is so comfy. Clay's over there doing, oh, and there's Matilda. Hello, Millie. Escaping. We're going on a walk, and Clay's debuting his new socks and sandals look, so fashion. Yeah, that's right. Clay is very determined to walk up that hill, so let's root him on, shall we? Go, Clay, go. He's over halfway, everyone. This is as most zoom as I can be, so just so you know. Victory! He's so tiny. Blick. All right, I'm walking back. I just really wanted to watch Clay climb up that hill. And then I wanted to be back inside in the shade. Ooh, birds. So yeah, I basically put sunscreen on to be outside for 5 minutes. Hot girl summer, am I right? Clay picked me wildflowers at the top of the hill. Romance. Thank you, Clay. I would show it, but it'd be a spoiler. But Clay and I are in the final episode of Vincenzo. I've also done more reading today. I'm almost on the 300-page mark. Now, Clay and I are about to go on a drive. Matilda is running around out there. Heading off on our adventure together. Everyone's here. Well, there she is. I'm gonna put BTS on for our drive. Perfect driving music, and away we go. Let's see some scenery. As I'm sure you might have been able to tell in some of those clips, it is about to start pouring outside. It thunderstormed really hard last night, and I think it's going to continue to do so this evening, which I'm actually really looking forward to, as long as we still have power. I love the ambiance. But I actually wanted to do a bit of a reading check-in now that I've read about 300 pages of The Golden Fool, and this book is so good. Just the political escalation is really, really there, but a few things I wanted to touch on is just, first and foremost, Fitz. You love him, you want to hug him. Fitz is such an interesting character because as someone, we have seen so much of his life. And he has so many skills too. Like, he's proficient in combat, he's a spy, he's an assassin. He's really observant of other people and is able to like draw these astute political observations. But the man is also the most dense when it comes to how he perceives the feelings of other people about him, and like what he feels like he's allowed, and also if people like him and stuff like that. Like, he's just like purposefully dense, because I don't think he feels like he deserves like love or feelings, but he also has a hard time realizing that people would want something from him in return. So that's always such an interesting journey to go on, and I feel like seeing him kind of confront new and different types of relationship obligations as an adult, because he is an adult with different types of characters. I think that has been a really interesting component to have been going through within the story, and I feel like it adds such a great layer to his character. Ooh, it's really getting serious outside. We have a lot of skylights in here too, so it's great when it rains. The other thing I wanted to say is, because all of Robin Hobb's books happen within the same world, when we first encountered the Farseer trilogy, it was very insular and very focused on like the Six Kingdoms politics, which made sense. But obviously with the Ship of Magic series, we get introduced to the traders there, but also another country called Jamilia. And all of these things have obviously impacted the Six Kingdoms, or the Six Duchies, in this new series. So the overall politics are kind of broader, the world is broader, there's so many references, and just, I guess the world has really expanded, and seeing Fitz have to navigate in this changing world, which he doesn't like change, is also really interesting. But I also just feel like it adds just even more to the story, just this kind of larger board for Fitz to have to maneuver in. And obviously the Fool, who, as we know, is a very well-traveled individual. But Fitz is a grumpy guy. He doesn't particularly like any change, and he's also been away from the central city for so long. So seeing him kind of have to confront that people are not static, things are dynamic, and relationships have changed, and like there's so much emotional weight for him. He's frozen so many things kind of in place and time, because he feels like he's frozen himself, but like people and things have kind of moved on, and that's a hard thing to kind of confront for him for obvious reasons. But anyway, I love The Golden Fool so far. Robin Hobb continues to amaze me. I'm going to enjoy this rain. We're gonna watch the final episode of Vincenzo now. Actually, cut to Clay. It's officially started raining outside, but Clay, we're almost done with Vincenzo. We were talking about this earlier. Give us your brief armchair review.
So, I still have one episode left, but as of right now, I'd rank it like an 8 out of 10. Has, of the K-dramas I've watched, it has some of the best moments, but also it's had some of the sloppiest writing towards the end.
Yeah.
I've liked it a lot, but like, seems like they did too many episodes and they didn't need to be an hour and a half long. Like there's some filler there, especially towards the end. But I still really like the show, and it's been satisfying, but the last few episodes at points have dragged.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm curious if anyone else has watched the show, like what they think. I thought the first 15 episodes were so strong, so kitschy, so much action, lots of humor, lovable characters, and I still really love the characters. And I thought the acting across the board was fantastic, especially with like the villains. But I just feel like they dragged the ending out a little too long, and they kind of got a little repetitive. And then there's some like loose ends. Like I feel like they changed course, which is fine, but then there's a lot of like loose ends that were kind of left. But I still really like it, and I would still really recommend it, but it wasn't perfect, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So far, nothing has topped Chloe in my heart. Our barbecue got rained out, so we ordered a pizza.
A pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Vincenzo would not approve. Anyway, everyone, it's time for ice cream. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the end of the vlog. The next day, I am home with Matilda. There she is, my queen. And Clay and I had so much fun going upstate and staying in that super cute, cozy cabin. I was also able to read a decent amount. I read about 300 pages of The Golden Fool. Definitely not my best in terms of page number, but it was relaxing. We just watched TV, cooked some great food, enjoyed the rain, and I did read 350 pages of The Golden Fool, which so far I'm liking a lot. I'm thinking I'm even liking it more than the first one. We are definitely kind of like back into the farcier politics, which I'm liking, and also just the general location and just seeing Fitz emotionally have to go through all different types of things. And there's also a lot more crossover within this book, and again, as such a big fan of the Ship of Magic series, that has been so much fun to see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye.